Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm going to do a quick update here on Bitcoin. First of all, I'm gonna hide this for a second here. Uh, as you can see, we are still strongly. Well, this is my partner Rado's main count here, which is this triangle, which has been going on for several months now, which is very typical of a triangle. Um, and I don't want to bore you guys to death, but that's this is basically still valid. We're looking at, I mean, in a triangle, in every triangle, every wave will subwave divide into ABC or three moves. So you'd have ABCA, ABCB, ABCC, ABCD, ABCE. E is always the failure leg, which I've covered numerous times. This would be the 4 of 5 coming down here, roughly. I'll get to potential targets down there in a minute. I don't think that's really what's important right now. But this would be the Y to potentially end the entire correction down after this drop here. One of the things that I've talked about several times, which is conflicting. This is conflicting for me because I don't like the fact that this triangle has a bullish posture to it. It's it's very typical of an ascending triangle. Furthermore, let me get on to the 4 hour here. Um, furthermore, I have this heavy resistance drawn going back to about 10,000. This dead cat that we had this run up to 10,000, and we basically, I mean, it's the same old song: lower high, 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 lower high. I mean, it's just the same old thing over and over again. And basically, that's how trend lines are created with this heavy resistance. This resistance now is going on 11 months old, so almost a year now. And I mean, one of the things I don't like is that this triangle, for this triangle to play out, it calls for a fake out and a break of this resistance, and then everybody becomes bullish. All the retail traders jump on trying to catch the breakout, which they'll all be looking for this. If I just take the entire width of the triangle and put it right to where the breakout would be, they'll all be looking for this breakout up to 5,000 to 5,400, which, as I pointed out many times, coincides with this little dead cat degenerate buy that we had here on the way down. So they'll all be looking for that. And this is, like I said, this is conflicting for me because the triangle, it looks bullish. This is a bullish formation, generally speaking, and this is where, Elliott Wave is calling this triangle bearish. So there's I don't like when different forms of TA are conflicting. So that's basically that. We're looking at, in the short term, we're looking for a pump. We're looking for a pump up here to about 4120, 4100, and then a rollover again. Again, my problem with this is we're breaking this trend line. And in fact, if you look at this, we'd be breaking this trend line, coming back down to test it as support, and then coming back up and then breaking down, because this would be the E. This would be your failure leg. Forgive me, I know many of you guys know this, but then we'd be looking for this. So this is conflicting for me. The way that I am playing this. First of all, I've been a little sick the past couple of days. I haven't been feeling well, and the market is so it seems extremely bearish. However, there are bullish undertones. So, to me, it doesn't really have any clear direction. So I'm basically just looking at this trend line, and I'm looking for a big amount of volume to come in on a breakout up here. If I see a breakout with no volume, I'll be looking to short, because that's very indicative of a bull trap. So um, also, one of the other things is I have these trend lines, horizontals drawn from a monthly perspective, just on the monthly chart. This here at 28.32, again, I was looking for this too long on the way down. We never got here. So that's kind of annoying, but Bitcoin does this all the time. I know the 200-week moving average is here, and it did make sense to catch here. But it seems to me like during this entire bear market, Bitcoin will catch just above support, where people are front running the support and they're all dying to buy, being very impatient. And what ends up happening is it's like a price gravitational force that you always, the price of anything will always want to come down and test support. So you might get a bounce, but it's short lived, and support and resistance is kind of like, it's got a magnetic, if you will, a magnetic gravitational force here. But that's that's what I'm looking at with this. One of the other tools I want to show you guys really quickly, and just before I do that, the other count has, I'll remove this, would have, again, it's the same deal. Nothing has changed, which concerns me a little bit, because nothing's changed on the chart, but so many people are now bullish, and I don't see why. I mean, a lot of people I respect have turned bullish, and there's nothing has changed here. There's nothing has changed in the past 4 months, except more time has gone by, and we haven't dumped. We have not put in a new low yet. So, but this is very typical, and this is what is expected in a triangle and a wave 4. If you guys remember 6,000, that took quite a while to break. So, and it was the same type of deal. The shorts got bored. They kind of gave up. They capitulated. All the bears capitulated, and then that gave us the opportunity to dump and to reach the targets that everybody was looking for. It just took so long that people kind of gave up on it, or whatever. But you could see here. 6,000 took from, it wasn't 6,000. It was like 5,750 to 5,800. It took from February 2018 to November 2018. So, it's about 10 months. But anyways, aside from that, I'm going to pull back. Actually, I'm just going to cover the other count really quickly, which would just be that, forgive the clutter on this chart, but this would just be that A, B, C is completed as a flat correction, and this is your final wave 5 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for our 5. But they both have the same targets up here. So it'll all depend on A, if we can get past this resistance here, and we also have, of course, we have this resistance, which this is the main one here, and it's actually 43. I don't have my volume profile up, but I memorize it. It's 43.06, 43.16 is a major horizontal resistance, and you can see the big gap here for a breakout. But those are the two counts. The bulls are looking at this as this is the entire bottom here. This is the bear market is finished. And basically what we're doing here is one to all the way up 3, 4, 5, which is to me very. If that is to play out, that would just be C, and that would be the. It's still bearish. So could we go up here? Yes, I've covered this many times, but for one, the reason I don't like that is number one, this does not look organic to me. This is just very spiky, very wicky. This to me, this is not. This does not look organic to me. This looks more corrective. It's ugly. It doesn't. I mean, if you look at the volume, first of all, um, you want to see more volume in wave 3 than wave 1. Okay, this is the proposed wave 1 that the bulls are looking at. This would be 1, 2. Okay, we can call this entire move wave 3. Okay, so first of all, there's more volume on 1 than there is 3. That's problematic. And secondly, you have bigger sell volume on the move down than you did on the move up. That's not indicative of impulsive or motive. So that's problematic. But just in general, just look at this. This doesn't look organic to me. This looks like the usual BART garbage. Fake everybody out to get liquidity to fill positions going in the other direction. In fact, this almost looks these two structures here. Okay, if you just look at this, these look like fractals of each other. These two moves. This looks like a more drawn out version of this. So this doesn't look organic to me. This doesn't look like humans are buying and holding as you would expect in impulsive movement or in an end of a correction and for a complete market reversal. I'm not buying it. Basically is what I'm trying to say. So now, does that mean we can't break out? Absolutely no, it does not mean that, because this is quite possible here that we come up to test where we broke down from. And in fact, just to go further with that, of everybody being so bullish as of late, if you take from where we broke down from to our bottom here, we haven't even gotten past the 236. I mean, it took 2 weeks to break down, and it's taken 4 months, and we can't even break this, the 236. And I've covered this many times, but the 382 is what you would call a dead cat bounce. That's typically where you look for a 4. There's nothing bullish about this. I mean, this is like bearish. This is bearish up here. We can't even get to where we would be considering a dead cat bounce, and everybody's bullish. So, not everybody's bullish, but just from what I'm seeing online and all that kind of stuff, and there's nothing wrong with changing your perspective and all that, because TA changes every hour, every day. I mean, the charts change every day. So, but to change your perspective when literally nothing has changed technically, that's just that's foolish to me, if you ask me. But again, like I said, it's possible. But that brings me to my other point that I want to cover on this this video here, which is time. And one of the things that takes place in every single market, and also in life, is time changes people's minds. And if you have some type of stress, or you went through some type of trauma or something like that, they say time heals all wounds, and that's very true. Everything changes with time. So the only thing I can see that's changing people's minds here is that more time has gone by. I mean, you have, okay, the price that we're sitting at now is 39.72. 4 months ago, 39.72 was crypto is dead. That's it. It's the end, blah, blah, blah. And now 39.72 is, we're going to the moon, and the correction is over. So the only thing that's changed is time. And that's kind of what I want to bring up here. Let's go to my object tree. And this is one of my favorite tools for macro analysis, and that is the fixed Gann squares. And I actually have to go back to the daily chart to really show you guys what I'm driving at here. You know what? I'm just going to draw it again. It's very difficult to get this right on, but in a complex correction, I just got to pull out all the tools, but let's get this one here. This is very difficult to navigate this tool, but it's the hell is it? Tim Fibonacci in that area. Okay, so I'm just gonna take the high, the all-time high here, and going to catch here where our first massive dump was, which was about 19,700 to 10,600 or whatever it was. And I remember that because we actually broke the uptrend, and I basically, once we hit this and bounce back up, I said we're going 7,800 guaranteed, like 99%. Wherever this bounces to, we're going to test 7,800. But that's neither here nor there. But what I want to show you guys is, if you look at this, this first of all, again, was like he was different than all other he was different than all other technical analysts in that he incorporated astrology and geometric shapes and etc. He was a little bit eccentric and outside the box, but yet, regardless, his patterns and formations are very useful in looking at macro trends. But if you notice here, this is clearly price and time. I mean, that's what we're looking at here. We have a sharp resistance coming down, then we have a less sharper of a degree coming down, and then we have an even more drawn out resistance. But if you look at these curves or these arcs, these offer support. And if you look at this, the way the market is following this, if you look inside these arcs here, you can see that we're catching, and they're offering support and bounces. And it's basically SR flips, support resistance flips within these arcs here. So you can see that they're offering support and we're bouncing. And then once we break them, we continue down into our next sort of area until we can catch again, and you can see we broke down. And if you look at this, look at where we broke down from. This support was broken here, and we had no support down here for a bounce. And that's kind of, I mean, if you look at the way the market is following this here, I really don't want to zoom out because that messes everything up here. But as you can see, I haven't changed anything. It's still right here to our first bounce. So you can see that where we broke down from was right here. And you can see how there's just open air in this area. And I hope you guys can see this. Let me, so you can see that we're coming up on another support here in this area. So, and this is very, as far as time, this is only a month long here. So, and if you look at the triangle, the triangle, this also corresponds to the triangle action. One of the things also is, if you look here, look at this open air. There is nothing here. into September. So, you know, this is there's really no support in that area. So that's one of the things to pay attention to. But you know, as far as this trend line, you know, the other thing I want to point out is that, you know, I mean, if you look at trend lines, a break of a descending resistance does not mean that the market has turned bullish and that correction is over. I mean, this was the first one. You can see we still dropped substantially. So, you know, that's not basically you'll have a breakout, but anyways, this is what I'm looking at here. One of the other things I also want to point out with time, and I pulled this before, one of my other favorite tools here is the trend-based fib time, which I will pull from this swing high to this swing low here. And as you can see, as I was saying in my last video, that March 15th was a very important time here. And we actually had a nice push up on March 15th. So, and it's basically, you know, it's basically the same idea. What corrections don't, what price doesn't correct in price, it will correct in time. So, you know, a lot of people do not look at time when they're analyzing corrections, and that is one of the most important, if not the most important aspect of a correction. It's not just price, it's also time. So but anyway, that's without getting too much into a tangent on that here. I'll make another video on that, because that's one of my favorite type of analysis to do. But as you can see, we're approaching this trend line here. We're just kind of flat. There's no volume at all. We're coming off the weekend. I mean, you can see also that you know, ever since this dump, volume is decreasing as price is relatively increasing. That's divergence. That's bearish. You know, and a lot of people will say, well, that's how Bitcoin does. There's small accumulation with no volume, and then everyone jumps on later. But yeah, that's very true. But that's during this entire bear cycle. So, you know, that's not bullish either. You know, that's not what you want to see. What you want to see is you wanted to see this capitulation, maybe a small little no volume node. But if you want to see bullish action, you want to see a rise in volume, a steady rise as the price is increasing, as more money is coming in, more new money. And in my opinion, and many people have said this, there is absolutely no new money coming into this space at all. It's just recycled money. It's just people that got scared and got out here and got out here. They're all just coming back in because they want to, they A, either think the bottom is in, or B, they just want to make up some of their losses because we dropped so quickly. They're assuming that we're going to get some type of bounce here. So, you know, it's just, there's no signs of market reversal yet. So that's one thing. The only nice thing that we do have in our favor, if you are a bull, is the 200-day moving average is almost $1,000 above us. But the problem with that is that when you have price, basically during all corrections and all price action, you have a price expansion and price compression. And one of the things that, in my opinion, is very bearish, that people are seeing this as bullish, is we had this price compression in this area, right? Then we had price expansion on this massive dump, right? So in this, I mean, if you look at this here, look at all this room. Now, what you would want to see would be for this move to not stop here, and to during this period of expansion, you want to see the bulls and the bounce and the strength of the market take advantage of the expansion. And what they've basically done is, in my opinion, is taken so long now that now the price is compressing again. And basically, the way I'm seeing this is the bulls are running out of time. You know, they really are. This move should have happened by now. And I think that the longer this stays sideways, the more likely it is that, okay, market's still bearish. You know, because during a big correction and after a big dump, just the psychology of the market is going to be that, okay, the bulls are going to be more impatient than the bears are, because the bulls have seen, you know, dump over the past, you know, 15, 16 months now. So they're much more apt to start saying, oh shit, here we go again. As far as that's concerned. And that's why everyone says, you know, the major trend is your friend when you're trading, because, you know, that's just how it goes. So, but anyways, that's it. I just wanted to do a quick update on that, on Bitcoin here. Sorry for going off on a little bit of a tangent, but I'm looking at this trend line here. If I see volume, I will go long, but until I see a breakout here with some conviction and not just this garbage spike, pump, dump crap with no volume, to me, this is just all fake out, dead cat, you know, sideways garbage where all the bots are liquidating everybody and convincing everyone that now we're bullish, and just to sucker more people in before a massive dump. So that's what I'm looking at. You know, nothing's really changed. So, you know, it's kind of this, you know, hurry up and wait stuff. So, but anyways, try to update you guys if something does change. But I'm looking for a pump back up here to about 4,100, and then a dump down to, you know, the bottom of this triangle here before the last and final fake pump. So that's what I'm looking at. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. If you like the videos, subscribe, share. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys soon.